Alright, so these are the things that needed to be done before your SPM. Okay, the checklist that you need to do before your SPM. So your date of SPM is on the 22nd. Is on the 22nd of February, right? So the last PDPR with your teachers would be on the 17th of February 2021. So today is the 26th of February. Sorry. Is it 26? 27, right? It's the 27th of February. So you have about 30 days for your SPM. So these are the things that you need to do before your SPM. Okay, the first thing, so you have to memorize, okay, your dear Mr. Kilmer. Okay, so for dear Mr. Kilmer, please try to memorize chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So if you couldn't remember chapter 3, if you couldn't remember the 3 chapters, okay, focus more on chapter 3. At least you have 1 chapter inside your head. Please, please, please do this. We have been doing Dear Mr. Kilmer for about 1 year now. So by right, it shouldn't be a problem for you. Okay, so Dear Mr. Kilmer, 3 chapters. Out of the 3 chapters, if you couldn't do it, just focus on chapter 3. So if you have the time, read the novel as well. Okay? Next one. Memorize the answers for the poems. So I've given you the 4 poems. Okay? So the 4 poems would be, what's the 4 poem? Poison Tree, Lulu, okay, Living Photograph, and Charge of the Light Brigade. Okay, I've given you the 4 poems plus the answers. Okay, so please read and memorize the answers. Okay, read it again and again. Next one, format for DW. Memorize it. So we have 5 formatted DW questions. Okay, so you have letters, you have formal and informal, and then you have speech, you have article, you have report, and you have what is that? Okay, so you have 5. Okay, so you have speech, report, article, and the 2 formal and informal. Okay, next, read sample essays for continuous writing. Okay, so look for easy plots, read anything. Okay, as long as it's article, no problem. It's just to get some hang of the words that you that can be used. Okay, just get the hang of the language. Okay, move on. After that 20 days, okay, the night before your paper. So your exam started on the 22nd. So your paper will be on the 23rd. Okay. So the night before your paper, that would be on the 22nd. After your Ishak prayer, after your solat hajat and everything. Okay, sit down. Okay, read again the plot and sample essays for your Dear Mr. Kilmer and your directed writing. Okay, any essays. Okay, I've given you some of the articles for your directed writing. Read it again. Okay, just to get that content points and elaboration, some sort of elaborations for you to use for your essay. Next, go through answers for the poems. Again, the 4 poems. Living Photograph. Okay, Charge of the Light Brigade. Okay, Lulu. And then Poison Tree. Go through the answers again. Okay, and I've repeatedly said the answers, the questions and the answers are all the same. The questions like this, the answer must be like this. Okay, it is similar, it just twist a little bit. And then If it is hot question, as long as it is logical, just answer the question. Make sure it's logical, answer it. Don't worry about whether it's wrong or right. Logical, accepted. Next one, check on the format of DW. Right? Formal letter, informal letter, article, reports, and speech. Check on it again. Alright, so this would be the night before. No heavy reading at all. Okay, just a simple light reading. Using your lit book and your writing book. Okay, just go through it again. Okay, next one. When you are doing your paper. Okay, this will be on the 23rd. So on the day of your paper, please bring only your literature book. Okay, please bring only your literature book. But if you are not confident, you can also bring your writing book as well on the day itself. Okay, so just bring that for your paper on the day of your paper. Alright, so while waiting for the for you to go inside the hall, just read your writing, okay, or just relax. The main thing is for you to relax and not panic. Okay, next, when you are doing your paper 1, okay, normally the examiners will give you some time to actually check on whether it's the correct paper or not. So take this precious time not to actually melepak, mengigau, beranggan and all. No, don't do that. When the examiners give you some time to check on your paper, first thing, open up your question paper. Okay, go through paper section A. Identify the format. Straight away identify the format. What is the format for the directed writing? Okay, and then scroll and try to read the questions and try to understand what is it all about. Okay, next one. Okay, read your section B. Okay, if 5B, go through straight away. Straight away go for the narrative essay. Okay, if the narrative essay is suitable for your the plot that you have been using, so no problem. But if not, you need to work a little bit harder just to try to change here and there. Okay, it's very important. Next, when the examiner said, alright, okay, you can close your question paper now. Give some time for you to read your doa, recite your doa and everything. So recite your doa. Give some time for you to relax. After you finish that, okay, take some time to try and elaborate your section A. Okay, you've looked at the question just now, right? So try to elaborate a little bit of it. Then move on to section B. Try to imagine the plot, the essay, the what you are going to write. Okay, if you remember, your A is 45 minutes. Your B is 1 hour. Time yourself. Bring your watch. Okay, put the watch in front of you. I do not want you to go beyond that 45 minutes for directed writing. Do not ever go beyond that. Make sure it's only 45 minutes and below. Okay, don't go before more than that. Next, okay, when the examiner said, alright, you can start your paper now. Say your prayer, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Open the question paper. Do the elaboration first, please. Okay, if you remember, when you see the traffic light, you stop right after your gear 5. You stop, and then it takes some time for you to, after the green light, it takes some time for you to achieve that gear 5 again. So get the question, open up your question, your booklet, do that elaboration. Okay, for 5 minutes. Okay, 1 content point, 2 elaboration. Okay, that's it. Every content point buat ni. Okay, make sure you do that. Okay, and then after you finish doing that, read the question and do the elaboration. 5 minutes. Do it. If the person next to you has started writing, ignore him or her. Okay, you just focus on doing the elaboration. After you finish on the elaboration, okay, you start writing. You finish your writing, always check the format and your content point. Make sure it is only 12 content point. You've given that 12 content point. Remember, 1 content point, 1 mark. So please check. Make sure you have given that 12 content points. So let's say content points you are unable to elaborate. Okay, leave it be. Okay, do not worry. But I do not want you to miss out the content point. Yes, you can forget for some of the elaborations, but do not forget about the content point. Content point, you have to write that 12 content point. 1 content point, 1 mark. Do not ever miss that. Okay, and then time yourself. Only 45 minutes. Don't go beyond that for your directed writing. Okay, next. After you have finished your directed writing, okay, then only you can enjoy writing your CW. Always start with directed writing and then only your CW, continuous writing. Do not ever do your continuous writing first. Please remember this. Always directed writing, then only continuous writing. Okay, please remember this. Remember. Okay, DW first, then only your CW. Remember this. Do not make it like what you have done in your trial. Okay, you have not enough time for your DW, sayang. Okay, because everything is there. 35 marks kat situ. Everything is there. Sayang tak buat. Okay, I've given you the calculation. Okay, in order for you to get credit, continuous writing, directed writing, you have to score paper 1. Okay, so you've done with your paper 1. Okay, you finish everything. Okay, take some time to eat. Okay, you most probably cannot go out after you have finished your paper 1. Okay, new SOP, you have to stay inside your examination hall. You cannot go out. So make sure you bring your own food or your drinks and everything. Okay, so after you finish your paper 1, check out your literature book. Okay, at this time around, while waiting for your paper 2, okay, please read again, dear Mr. Kilmer. So remember the summary. I've given you the summary. So chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3, right? Most important event. So chapter 1, the misfire of the bug. Chapter 2, the writing of letter to Mr. Kilmer. Chapter 3, the signing of the sympathetic card. And then the plot. Plot is equal to evidence. So remember your before, during and after, before, during and after, before, during and after. Theme. Okay. Chapter 1 is tender-hearted. Chapter 2, passionate. Chapter 3, okay, bravery. Okay, and then your moral value. We must be tender-hearted. We must be passionate. We must be brave. Okay, so please remember that characteristic. Okay, for this one, passionate, tender-hearted, passionate, and then brave. Okay, so that you have to remember. So read, dear Mr. Kilmer. Okay, next one. Go through your poems. The answers for the poems. Just go through it. Because by right, Okay, you should have remembered it, right? Okay, so these are the things that you need to do before SPM. By right, you should have remembered it. You just need to go through your poem, okay, and then take some time to focus on the answers. Okay, so when you are being called, again, when the examiner said check your question paper, so go through the last part, section D, look at the answer, the question for dear Mr. Kilmer. Close your paper, okay, take some time, but at the same time, your mind started to think the answer for the question. Okay, so that's what you need to do before your SPM. Alright, class? Thank you.